Who just absolutely blasted CM Punk, and why is it the last person you would expect? In today's video, we are going to be breaking down who just put CM Punk on blast, why I think they're 100% wrong, and why I think you'll agree with me. Because CM Punk's return to WWE has been anything but quiet. He's reignited old rivalries, sparked new ones, and seemingly everyone in the wrestling world has an opinion about the best in the world. But hold the phone. Everyone's focus on CM Punk is usually detractors, those saying that he's not good enough, he's overrated, yada, yada, yada. But what if the most scathing criticism just came from someone completely out of left field, a name with virtually no prior to connection with Punk, whose words cut deeper than most people would anticipate? Okay? CM Punk has come under fire from a lot of people, whether it's Roman Reigns or, more importantly, Seth Rollins. I did a previous video talking about how Seth Rollins absolutely hates CM Punk, and I gave the reasons why. You can go back on the main channel to check that out. CM Punk, though, I don't think people understand how long this guy has been in the game. He has been in the game for a very long time, spanning a decade's long career, right? From the independent scene in the early 2000s to his ROH days, even his TNA days before signing with WWE in 2005 and going down to OVW, making the jump to WWE main roster and ultimately departing in 2014. He went to AEW for a cup of coffee and was involved in more backstage incidents within a 2-year gap than most people are in their entire lives, only to return to WWE in November 2023. Now, Matt Riddle, Matt Riddle has everybody talking, okay? Because this dude, he just loves controversy. I'm really convinced he just wants people just to talk about him, right? He's off WWE television. He's making his independent dates. He's working for MLW. But I'm absolutely confident in stating that this guy just wants attention. He just wants people to talk about him, and that's fine. But he does go out of his way to create these moments, right? So he was doing an interview and he was talking about CM Punk. And hey, you know what? More power to him. If he wanted people to get them talking about him, he exactly did that because he appeared on Going Ringside. He started to make a lot more appearances on this YouTube channel, but I digress. And he was asked about the possibility of joining AEW. When CM Punk's drama with the company was brought up, this is what Real had to state. You know, I'm not a big fan of that guy either. That guy sucks at fighting, and he's one to work with in the back because he just belly aches and complains. This guy complains about getting multiple world title runs. I've heard from my boys that still work there, WWE, that he's a headache. And this isn't a storyline, this is facts. So this is what it is. First of all, I understand that Matt Riddle was a former MMA fighter. I understand that Matt Riddle could absolutely stomp me in the ground. And I would agree that CM Punk was not meant to be a UFC fighter. He was not meant to be an MMA fighter. But you know what? It takes a lot of balls to step in there on a worldwide stage twice. Twice. In regards to hearing from his boys that Punk complains, okay, I can see that, right? In terms of stating that working with Punk is a bunch of belly aches and complains a lot, hey, bruh, you've never worked with CM Punk before. Just because you might have secondhand information from a few sources doesn't necessarily mean that that's actually the truth, right? When reporters vet for information, they get it from a ton of different sources. Whenever you hear about internal reactions or backstage reactions, this is not 2 to 3 people. These are multiple people because your opinion of someone may be different from my opinion of someone. And you need to have a large amount of inquiries and opinions to come out with something like that in a report, or in Matt Riddle's case, an opinion. Is CM Punk difficult to work with? I 100% agree with that. You know who else was difficult to deal with? Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, some of the biggest names in the history of this business. CM Punk was criticizing those in AEW for not wanting to run a business. He's trying to make as much money as possible. He has a old school mentality. You make your shows, you show up, you work hard, and you try to elevate those around you. He is inspired by the likes of Terry Funk and Harley Race and Bret Hart. These are old school guys who have old school mentalities. So if you're Matt Riddle, who, oh, by the way, has had a ton of controversy, who has had a lot of backstage and personal issues to the point where WWE fired you and you have not landed in a major promotion, maybe, just maybe, that's a you problem, right? I think CM Punk is a guy that takes the wrestling business extraordinarily serious. And I think he should. I think he has the mentality that is being lost on today's generation. If you are not in this business, and I think people forget about this, wrestling is a business. It's goofy, it's wacky, but it's a business. I don't care if you are in the ring wrestling, if you're a referee, a commentator, a social media, um, content creation person for the company. In my case, a writer and honestly just an overall content creator. You have to look at it as a business. You can make the content that you want, but if you're trying to make a profit out of it, that goes out of the window. If you are trying to be in business, which the wrestling business is, you have to make those decisions. So if CM Punk has an issue with a storyline and he complains about it, it's because he's trying to elevate the business. He's trying to elevate the stock in the importance of CM Punk and or whatever issue he has. That's what CM Punk does. And that was his biggest hangup. That was his biggest issue in AEW. He felt like they did not look at it as a business, that he wanted Tony Khan to take control of his business and dish out disciplinary measures and punishments to talent in which was not following in line, a la Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. So when we talk about CM Punk and we talk about the way that he handles things, yeah, it may be a little outdated. It may not be comfortable, but he's trying to elevate